I put my trust in you, and I trust in our love. I trust in you, I put my trust in love. I put my trust in you, and I trust in our love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love.
Hello, friends. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Miles Spain, and we're your fuck buddies.
This is a weekly dating and sex advice podcast where we turn your sticky, sexy situations into sexy, sticky situations. Fuck me.
In other words, we sex questions.
We do sex questions.
We sex questions.
Oh, fuck you. We're gonna break these glasses one day, progressively.
We're not even cheersing anymore. We're like playing conkers.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm having a great day.
Good.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
I wasn't talking. Sorry.
The joke that will never get old.
Or funny.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you're doing well. We do have a solemn request from a listener to introduce the cat back into the podcast, so we've cunningly closed the door in an effort to entice him.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, as long as we're alone in this apartment, there's a good chance that he might come say hello. But if my girlfriend comes home, then we're fucked.
Mm-hmm. I feel like once we have the door closed, he's like, what? But if we have it open, he's like, I don't give a fuck. You want me in there? Nope.
That's pretty much what cats do.
Yeah. Especially that bastard.
You realize this is episode 10?
Oh, shit. I was going to buy us champagne so we could go, boop.
Well.
Can you edit that in instead of the clink? The abrasive, violent clink? Quiet. Let's pretend that we pop some champagne.
We'll do that for episode 25. That'll be our champagne episode. Because it's like a quarter, right?
Boop.
Quarter.
Oh, we did
glug,
a clink.
Glug, glug. This episode's brought to you by sound effects.
Shit audio. You know what is funny? I have gotten 3 reasons why this podcast is a good thing during this week.
Okay.
Or a terrible thing. I'm not sure. So every now and then, sometimes I bring a question to the podcast just because it's like fucking hilarious and or baffling, such as like the Dickley Hallows, the whole dick pic on the toilet thing. Yep. Another person has come up to me this week and told me that their ex-boyfriend used to do that not only once, but regularly, and often with literal piss below in the toilet. So it's a thing, and it upsets me that exists. Another person who had not listened to the show, when I met her, told her about the show and asked her to send us a question, half joking because people usually listen and then send, they don't just off the bat have one. She did have one off the bat, and we had literally answered it the day before, and it was about how do I get my man to clean his butt. So that's also more of a thing than we ever wished it was.
I mean, yeah, just 2 people.
Yeah, that's already enough. Way fucking more. And thirdly, and this you know about, but our humble, beautiful listeners do not, we have gotten 2 messages from people we don't know. And it's amazing because they are so thirsty. And they seem to think that we are some kind of like sex website or sexy girls or something.
Or like a hookup site of some sort.
Yeah, we've gotten one guy message us and says, hey boo, and then sent us another message that said, anybody cute, but literally anybody, not anybody. So yeah, my buddy Dane is cute, if you're listening. I've got a lot of cute buddies. You interested, bruh? You interested? And then another guy just messaged like, hey, what's up?
What's up?
And I asked him if he had a question, and he packed a big retreat. So if you see something and you automatically think it might want to sleep with you without even reading the description and or, I don't know, getting any information about it.
It might get you laid?
Yeah, you're part of the problem, guys.
Yeah.
Like, who's just on the internet? Also, I'd love to know what it popped up on, or how they found us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they're just like looking up like fucking on Facebook over and over again. They're like, oh, fuck buddies.
They just went so far down the rabbit hole they found us.
Yeah. At that point, they are willing to fuck a podcast. Just grab the audio file and
give it a go.
You want to start off? Will I start off?
Yeah. So this comes from Reddit user The Angry Raisin.
I didn't think you were about to say raisin.
I 100% read it the first time as Angry Asian.
Oh, I thought you were about to say angry racist.
Oh, no. Those are later questions. And he says, what's the appropriate way to handle a drunk guy grabbing a girl's butt at a party? Further details. I was invited to a party and there's a solid mix of guys and girls having fun, drinking and hanging out, but not really a hookup scene. I see a drunk guy, friend of the host, that I don't know grab a woman's butt. Clearly trying to initiate something, but she looked uncomfortable, just pretended it didn't happen and walked away. It happened so fast, nobody else saw it except for me, who was across the room. My question is the consensus to intervene and confront a blacked out drunk guy, or to let the female in the situation handle it if she's able to and avoid causing a scene as a guest at the party? I feel real disgusted seeing it happen, and I felt guilty that I didn't say anything.
That's a good question. I see there's 3 ways to do this. Obviously, there's go up and confront them, but as he kind of seems to realize, drunk, totally blackout guy who you don't know, apt to get aggressive, and you're at a party, blah, 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 blah. So it's an option, but you got to be, aware that it could escalate or whatever. Option 2, which I think is maybe the better one, but depends on, again, like how bad it is and how easily you can get this done and whatever. If it's the host friend, that's the host place, go to the host and be like, hey, your friend's being a fucking dickbag. Get him to sort it out, because presumably he knows how to interact with his friend and presumably will know if his friend is, what to do, as you would hope.
Yeah.
And the third option is talk to the girl and see what she wants. If you go up and be like, hey, are you okay? Is this guy bothering you? Like, and then, or even just like hang around and make sure it is done with. You know what I mean? Like if it does it more, if he does anything worse, you know.
I would say what I would do would be number 3. I would go to the girl and be like, are you okay? And then if he does it again or you feel unsafe, just come hang out with me and my friends.
Yeah.
And and that way if he like follows you over, you've got a considerable amount of people who know what's going on, who will, back you up.
And also, if, like, say it's her boyfriend who's gotten a little drunk and she's annoyed that he's a little drunk and not necessarily that he's touching her butt, then you're not just provoking an angry drunk guy for no reason.
Yeah.
And maybe her, depending on, like, there's nothing worse than getting involved in a situation that is objectively just bad, and then because they're in a relationship, both of them turn around and start haranguing you.
That's the thing that, like, always drives me nuts is when people just expect guys to jump into the fire. And it's like 9 times out of 10, you and I will, and most guys will. But like, there's a level of danger to confronting someone. The same way, like, most people acknowledge the fact that like women rejecting guys could turn ugly. It's like, now imagine a guy interjecting himself into that position and either like, quote unquote cock blocking him. And like society doesn't say anything about guys hitting other guys. You know what I mean? So like that barrier is already removed. Like obviously like there's a very slim chance that he's going to like start wailing on a girl in public. I mean, it's happened.
Yeah.
But like there's a way larger chance of you either getting bottled or followed out or like followed up to the bathroom or, you know
or
what
just
I mean?
hit
Like,
there.
Yeah. So like it always annoys me when people are like, men need to do more about, it's like, I understand, like, if you're with a guy and he's catcalling a girl, tell him to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, but, like, if you're on the streetcar and like, the sporadic dudes jumped on the bus, you know what I mean? And is now, like, yelling at women, like, you kind of have to, like, take sort of inventory of being like, if I get involved, is it going to be worse? And am I putting myself in mortal danger as well? Because, like, as much as it's important to like look out for everyone, you also have to not die.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like in that situation at the party, like I've seen it before where like someone goes up and they talk to the guy and you don't really solve the problem, you create a newer, bigger one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because now he's going to be brewing about that.
Yeah, or if he just starts a fight with you there and then, which again I've seen happen a million times, like all of a sudden you've got 2 people like, he's probably running into you, grabbing you. You guys might bump into people. People might actually get hurt. Like, that girl might get knocked over. That girl might, like, whatever. And you're doing all this shit. So it's like, yeah, by all means, I think when it's necessary, do it, right?
Yeah,
but it's not always necessary. And often, if you do take that direct approach, you're just creating a different problem, not necessarily solving the first one.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it could go so wrong so fast. Even, like, especially for her, because it could be one of those situations where, like, you go up and be like, hey, man, knock it off. And he's like, oh, sorry. And then next time he sees her alone, he's like, hey, bitch, why'd you, like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, if she's, going to the bathroom and he pushes his way in behind her, like...
Yeah, you're making somebody who's clearly already shitty and or in a shitty fucking headspace,
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, it's
You know.
it's so like it's so shitty because like 9 times out of 10, like I said, like we've interjected ourselves into dangerous positions.
We've
all the
done that
time.
when we've had to, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if we were at a party and someone was doing that and, like, we knew the person, we'd probably be like, hey, man, your friend's being a dickhead. Or talk to her, you know, go around it. And then if neither of those things worked or if he got worse, we would 100% get in the way. But
Yeah.
we've never done it at the expense of a better way to do it because,
I mean,
as far
there
as I
was-
remember.
there was a night where I was leaving, probably the underground, and there was these 2 like hammered girls, and there was these 2 guys in the car just being like, "Hey, yeah, we're your Uber. Get in." And I was like, "Did you guys order an Uber?" And they're like, "No." And they were getting in the car, and I was like, "Don't get in the fucking car." So I was like, "Where are you guys trying to go?" And they're like, "Oh, we live down the street." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm walking that way, so let's walk together." And at one point, her boyfriend called, and she answered, and she's like, you know, was just like, "I'm fucking hammered," and then she's like, "Someone is helping us get home." So I was like practically carrying her friend.
Yeah.
And when I got there, the guy pulled a knife on me.
That's fun.
The guy was like, "What the fuck are you doing touching my girlfriend?" I was like, "One, I'm not touching her at all. Like, I'm
Yeah.
physically holding up her friend."
Mm-hmm.
And the guy like turned on me and was just like, "All right, cool. Like, your girlfriend would literally be in the back of just some random dude's
Yeah.
car right now if it wasn't for me."
I know. But, like, the worst thing is, for him, I guess he just sees strange guy, drunk girls, and it's like you kind of assume the worst. Although you're bringing them home and everyone
Yeah.
had full knowledge, but still. It's shit. Well,
Yeah.
fuck, we've been in situation. Remember those group of dudes tried to fight us because there was
Smashley.
someone who was, well, I don't know if we can say their name,
I guess.
but and they were just like completely fucking blacked out, and like the guys are like, "Yeah, we don't care." It's like, you can't take this girl home. She
Yeah.
is literally blackout drunk, and you don't know her. So, still going to.
Yeah, you
Like,
can
what?
stop us.
Yeah, and then like,
Boy, did they learn that we could certainly stop them.
yeah, that was it's just, you know, shitty.
Yeah, I mean, like, there was one dude who tried to fight our friend who, like, again, just the worst idea. The guy's training, like, 7 different martial arts.
But still, you never know. The guy
you
could
twerked a dude
have over a step.
over a
and-
step, and, like, I had a guy who was, like, twice my size follow me into the bathroom and
Yeah.
then just, like, stand menacing while I took a piss.
Yeah. It was a weird night.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are dickheads everywhere. So, I don't know. There's always like, I feel like sometimes like from TV and from just what people say, it's automatically assumed that going straight over is the best response. And again, sometimes you have to. And if you can and if you do, that's great and fair play. And we do need more people who are able to interject
Yeah.
when it's needed. But if there is a better route, like talking to the girl, making sure they're safe, talking to that person's friend if they seem like a better person
Yeah.
or a more sober person, you know, there are better ways to do things. So just be careful, be cautious.
Yeah, be ready to leap into action if someone needs help. And that's, like, guy or girl, it doesn't matter. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
exactly.
If someone is...
In
a-
general,
yeah.
like-
But yeah, always sort of, like, I think, look for the route that doesn't...
Well, I think you
Potentially to
just
violence.
you need to know what could happen and like just be ready for that, and you know, and also if there is a better route, fucking why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get any brownie points for getting glassed.
Yeah, but, like, that, like, fucking shitty macho attitude, you know what I mean? Like, some people who, like, I imagine there are also guys out there who'd be like, this girl's gonna love me now, you know what I mean? Like, who thinks they're gonna be able to swing
Yeah.
favor with her as opposed to just looking out for her.
Well, I'm 100% sure there's probably people who go out to see people bothering people to go to fight those people, just be like, "Oh, girl." There's like, you know,
Yeah.
back home there are people who just go out on nights out to fucking fight people. There's definitely those people. Did we solve it?
We did.
No, fuck. The world's a better place.
We did. Yep.
All right, so I got a duo of questions from a friend of ours. Mr. Sharky sends 2 in. And first one is, how do I get a girl's name if I got her number while really drunk and spelled it wrong? And they've been texting, but he doesn't remember her name and spelled it wrong on his phone and has no idea what it is.
I mean, fuck. I was gonna say, like, you could just be like, did I spell your name right? But if it's
But like, if you have no
if
idea,
there's like just like a number in there, you definitely have.
ooh, question. What if there be a number in there?
If you're hammered and you're trying to type in like a name and you've somehow thrown a number in there,
That's pretty bad. Okay, you send your garbled version. You say like, "Hey, blah blah blah, how are you?" And she's like, "What the fuck?" And you'd be like, "Oh my god, my phone autocorrected to your name." Like, ha ha ha. and then you always refer to her like that on text because it's now your inside joke.
Ooh.
And either she gets pissy and goes, just call me Clara, or
Why is it always Clara?
why not?
Okay, fair.
And either you have a funny, cutesy inside joke and eventually you'll get her name, or she'll get angry and yell her name at you.
Yeah. I mean, also you could be like, add me on Facebook.
That's what I was going to say.
Then you've got the whole like
got the whole-
situation. You know what I mean? Like the whole name.
But how would you get there? I feel like back in the day it was easier to be like, yo, add me on Facebook. Whereas these days it's kind of like, what?
Everyone's a little more
Yeah, like,
guarded.
why? What do you need?
Like,
I don't know. Maybe it was just because you were younger or Facebook was newer, but like, it was just like, yeah, Facebook. Now it's like, why? What do you want?
you could also ask for a Snapchat.
Yeah, true. But then you also seem a little creepy. I feel like if you ask for someone's Snapchat, it's like, unless you kind of have a reason to, you just seem like you want nudes.
Yeah, or be like,
Or you're 14.
go somewhere that has puppies and be like, there are so many puppies here. Mm-hmm. What's your snap? I want to send them to you.
Yeah. Or you find a really cool event that you want to bring her to on Facebook, and you go, hey, I really want to bring you to this event. Like, what do you think? And she'll be like, oh, cool, what is it? And you go, it's easier if I just send you the invite on Facebook. What's like, add me and send her your name. Or, and this is a pro move I've learned because I've done this at least 3 times, right? If you have WhatsApp, or if you have, what's the other one? I don't know. One of those messaging things. All your contacts are like, if you go into contacts in WhatsApp and you go down, if they have it, their name is going to be on it.
Yeah, you can also search phone numbers in Facebook. This is kind
But
of
if you're a
thing.
fucking weirdo, who the fuck puts their number on Facebook? Please tell me your number is not on Facebook.
No.
Okay, good. Because if it is, I would like. I'm just saying, if her number is on Facebook, she's an idiot.
There have
Dump her.
been there's like a ton of times where I've I would match with someone on Tinder and I'd be like, I can't tell what you actually look like. Or, you know, the alternative is you're so incredibly attractive that I don't think you're real.
Yeah.
So I will I'll just copy and paste their number into Facebook, and if they pop up,
Then they're weird. Who puts their fucking number on Facebook?
well, a lot of people don't know that, like, back in the day, if you synced your phone up so that you could get notifications on your mobile, it automatically added it to your profile. So if people didn't know to change that, that's why, like, I don't think it happens anymore because people are like privacy.
Yeah, but you still
driven.
didn't know
But
that.
yeah, if you like, mine was up there for the longest time.
But yeah, it'll give you it on WhatsApp as well because it like it
You
has
could also just
everybody's-
like be like, hey, I was fucking hammered. I guess you're admitting you don't know her name.
Yeah, no one likes that. Especially like if you don't do it instantly as well. Like they've been talking for a few days. You know? And I think even instantly it's kind of it's a 50-50 chance whether they're like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Or fuck this guy later. It's probably not gonna go your way.
Yeah.
So-
although it is Sharky.
Yeah, anything's gonna go his way. That sexy bastard.
Oh, he's so nice.
I think we solved it.
Yeah.
Okay, second one. And this one is kind of
Filthy.
yeah, he's wondering no. We kind of answered it before, but when he asked it, I was gonna anyway, I'll just say that out. He basically went on a date with someone. And like it was fine, but he doesn't really want to do it again. However, she seemed, of course, because he's amazing, to really want to have another one. And she'd been messaging him. He hasn't really gotten a chance to reply yet, and he's wondering, would it be better to just message her and say, hey, it didn't really work out, don't really want to see you again, or just leave it?
No, I don't think this is a case where ghosting is appropriate.
Really?
Like, yeah.
One date.
Yeah, no, I think it's totally fair to be like, hey, I'm really sorry. Didn't really feel the connection. Thank you so much. Good luck. You know
I'm
what I
gonna
mean?
switch up the question then. Would you be more or less hurt if you went out on a date and got a message back being like, hey, sorry, I don't really want to see you
No,
again?
I would way prefer that.
Or really?
Yeah.
Because for me, right, if someone's like, hey, I don't want to see you, it's like, wow, I'm that bad or like I'm that whatever that they literally have to be like, hey. Whereas if they just ghost me, they might be an asshole. It's like their problem as opposed to my problem.
Well, no, I don't think it's like, I think it's a respect thing, right? Like if you just ghost someone because you don't think they're worth
Well, that's the
the
thing.
rejection, like I think that's a shittier thing to do to someone than,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Instantly, I was going to be like, look, it's the easier way to ghost. It's the harder way to go talk to them, but it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, and I was like, I think I'd be... Because it's like, ghosting hurts the longer you know somebody, right? So if it's been like a few months and all of a sudden they disappear, that's fucked. If it's just been like a date or like a few texts,
No,
it doesn't
because,
really
like,
matter.
Think about it this way. Like if you're on a date and then like you just never hear anything from them ever again, you're like, wow, fuck, like I was so bad that they couldn't even dignify me with a response.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't think that way. I'd just be like,
I mean, I guess, but like if she's super keen on meeting up,
Yeah.
I think it would be a little harsher.
No, again, I totally agree, and it was my first response. But I do actually think personally, I'd probably be less hurt by just nothing, because it's only been one date. What
Yeah,
the
I
fuck
know.
are your cats doing out there?
Don't worry about it. They wanted cats.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it through the mic, but you got cats.
Um,
So I guess he just has to give her a message and say,
I
hey.
think so. I think like I've been on a few dates where, like what I think I mentioned before, one of my favorite dates that I ever went on Tinder was this date where like,
They were the banana.
no, like we met up and like about like an hour in, we were just like, we just kind of had like that moment where, you know, when you run out of things to say and you're just like
You see, that's different. That's mutual.
that awkward. I know, but if we had like, I don't know, just kept pretending, we wouldn't have had a good time. Because like after that, we were just like, let's just get fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? We went out.
So
we
you're
got
telling he should message her and say, hey, this isn't going to work. Didn't really feel a connection. Let's go get hammered.
hammered. Let's get fucked. No, but like there were also dates where I would go and like at the end of the date, I would go for a kiss or whatever, and like it would be a polite kiss, and they'd be like, just so you know, like didn't really feel anything. I was like, cool, I appreciate that. I know no longer to invest my time and effort
Yeah.
or energy in this. You know what I mean? And I'd way rather that than like be like, oh, I wonder if they got my message. I wonder if, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's all those what ifs. I'd rather just have the door closed for me and be like, cool, I can move on.
I don't know.
It's the same way
For
that,
me,
like,
I'd just be like, message her too, and I'm like, meh.
it's how I sort of like adopted a breakup policy, is where like I'm very happy at the end of a breakup to just be like, I know that I can no longer put energy into this. You've made that apparent via whatever way, or I've made it apparent, and we can like just close that door and lock it and leave it there.
Well, yeah, what else do you do after a breakup?
A lot of people linger.
Yeah, but people are fucking weird. A lot of people message podcasts trying to hook up with them when they don't know what they are.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like
People don't clean their
a lot
butt,
of people
Dane.
linger, a lot of people ghost, and that, like, I imagine that's not the right way to do it.
No, I know it isn't, but I do think personally I would just, like, the ghost I wouldn't even, like, think about ever again. Whereas if they were like, hey, I'd be like, oh, really? Went that badly?
I mean, you could always just be like, could you fill out my comment card?
Oh, yeah, the ones
And get
we
some-
have on our website.
Yeah, and get like get some feedback on your first date.
Yeah. No, it was weird, because, like, I know the answer is right, but I just personally feel like I'd be less offended that way.
I think that's the first time we've ever had like a differing in opinion
No.
on the show.
Well, on the show, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely not in person.
Yeah. And even then, like, I'm not hardcore there because I know, like, what the right thing to do is, but I just think if someone did it for me, I'd be like, man. But yeah, send her a fucking message, man.
Yeah, just let her know.
Though she fucks too wild.
Just tell you think she fucks too well. Just be like, sorry,
Yeah.
I can look at it. I've looked into your eyes, and all I see is a wild fucker.
Tell her you don't clean your butt. Tell her you splash water.
Or
but
you know
you're
what?
pretty sure
Tell
it
her
does
to
not
listen to
reach
this episode,
the
and we'll
butt.
do it right now for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Clara,
Anastasia,
I'm really sorry, but
you may seem... You put out the image of just fucking too wild.
yeah.
And
And while Sharky had a great time on his date with you,
he also has a great dick, and it is a national monument.
Mhm.
We can't allow risk like that to befall him.
yeah, you are not covered by his dick insurance policy.
Nope.
So, unfortunately, we're going to have to cut you loose.
We're sorry.
I imagine you have a long lineup of men
Mm-hmm.
waiting to just have their dick snapped off. And I would suggest, to help in this grieving process,
Get one of them and clit them down into that mattress.
yeah, that you just... you just
Clit them right down deep.
Oh, I like that. You can dick her
yeah.
into the mattress, and you can clit him into the mattress. I
Yeah.
love it.
More equal opportunities here.
Ready for another question?
Yeah, do it.
Also, sorry, Clara.
Yeah.
Don't dwell. Just move on. This is a really long question that I am going to...
Read entirely. That's the rest of the episode, guys.
That's the... just roll the credits. I'm going to summarize. So, this comes from Reddit user Hustle Muscle Racing.
I did not think you were saying racing there.
I told you, I'm leading up to it. He's asking how to not have such a negative outlook on women. And he has a long history of women being shitty to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's young. He's only 18.
Oh, I'm sure the history's real long.
Well, his mother divorced his dad and then would not let him.
Oh, okay.
See
I
his
thought you were
dad.
talking specifically about like romantic relationships.
No. So like it started young with like, and she sort of like cut him off from his dad, so he didn't really have much of a male role model or like a male influence in his life, and she was very apathetic, and then adopted sort of like a cliche man hating, single mom
Sure.
attitude. From then, he had a childhood female friend who they got along super well with until junior high, at which point she sort of like switched over to like a mean girl clique and just sort of like disowned him and humiliated him and bullied him like his entire junior high. And then once he got into high school, it was sort of like the same thing. He had a crush on a girl. She told everyone, and everyone made fun of him for it. And it's just sort of like women have sort of done him wrong. And he like actively acknowledges, he's like, I know this isn't like every woman's fault, but he's like, there is this like underwhelming, hatred of women that is growing, and he wants to figure out a way to crush that before it becomes like an actual problem in his life.
Well, firstly, I think he needs to kill the bad writer that's been scripting his life, because he's just like victim to his cliche disease.
I know. This is like a Augustus Burroughs novel.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like, also, I'm pretty sure Mean Girls can sue, so he better be careful. I don't know. See, things like this, and I guess at least he has like, it seems like a lifetime of reasons, whereas like, I met people who are just so bitter after like their relationship, like this one person or these two. It's like, we've all had shit happen to us.
Yeah.
It's like, you just get the fuck
And
over
it goes both ways too. Like, how many times have you heard like, men are shit? And it's like, well, why do you think that? Because like this one guy did something shitty that you like ignored probably all the warning signs for,
or not.
and stuff
But
like
like
that. Yeah.
either way, like someone can come out of nowhere and be the worst fucker, and it's
Yeah.
like you literally can't just be like, well, this entire gender or this entire city or this entire race or this entire
know.
anything. Like,
It's like literally every time that I've been mugged and jumped has been by someone who has not been white. But like, I don't immediately assume that everyone who isn't white is gonna jump me. You know what I mean?
every
Like,
time I've been mugged or jumped, it has been a white person.
well, white people are the worst.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, one thing we can agree on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it just, and I see this with relationships where people are like, oh, this one guy like fucked me over, or like I never trust men, or like I'm never going to be in a relationship again, because I was like, yeah, those things suck, but like, you don't think I've had shitty ass fucking relationships? And like, I'm not like, well, all women, or next relationship going in like with my fucking like guns out, being like, you make a move, like fuck you.
Yeah, I think.
And I do get it. I get the inclination why you want
for
to,
sure.
but like it just fucks your life up. It fucks everyone else's lives up.
You have to do kind of something that I did when I was a little younger, because like I was really reckless with women when I was much younger, and their feelings. At least I felt that I did, or I was. And I did a thing that like I called like a karmic reset, and I reached out to everyone that I thought I did wrong to.
Oh god,
And-
you're in a TV show as well.
Right? And I just sent them a message on like either Facebook, or if I had their number, I would call them, or you know what I mean? Whatever means of communication I had with them, I would send them a message and just be like, hey, I remember this time. I'm really sorry. I understand that like what I did was shitty, and I apologize, like genuinely and sincerely. And I did that in order to help myself forgive my ex for what she did to me.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I realized that if those people could forgive me, I could sort of at least accept what has happened and move on.
Okay.
And I think it's kind of important to sort of like, in order to deal with negative shit that's happened to you, to also look and see what negative shit you've put out into the world and try to rectify that as a way of, balancing the scales.
I feel like, honestly, and this is probably going to sound a bit weird, like the shittier things that happen to you, it's almost for the better, because you get stronger as a person and you are more able to deal with shitty things in the future. Like if you get assaulted, you freeze. You go into shock. You don't do anything. You get beaten up or you get mugged or you do whatever. But then the next time it happens, or you're assaulted or you're attacked or whatever, you're less frozen, you're more able to act under pressure, etc. You burn your finger or you start playing guitar, you build up calluses. When you're a person, if you've been through this shit, you're one, more able to deal with it in the future, and two, hopefully more able to recognize it and get out of the way. Like we've all seen those people who are in shitty relationships who don't realize that they're so bad because they're not out of them yet.
I don't know if I agree with that because like those people have a pattern of going into the same relationship over and over and over again.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Do you really think this guy's mom and the mean girl have the same?
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, if
Like, I learned from my mistakes in my shitty relationships, and like now it's like I know when to cut things off and I know how to avoid them. And
Yeah.
like instead of sticking around during shit that before I try and make excuses for, and I try to like look past, and like I'd see if I'm like, nah, I'm done. Fuck
yeah,
it.
I think the really important thing is to sort of understand that everything is isolated and everything is transient. So like, the pain you felt in high school was heightened because you were going through adolescence and hormones. You know what I mean? Like, and that was your world. The world is so much smaller.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you know what I mean? Like, your world exists in the walls of your school.
And people are shittier as well. Like,
Yeah, there's no real repercussions to being a fucking asshole in like high school and shit. You know what I mean? So I think it's like really important to be like, that was a thing that happened, and it in no way is an indication that it's going to happen again, or that everyone who was involved, or like every kind of person that was involved,
Yeah.
are also going to do the same thing. You will notice personality traits, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to notice that, like, there are other assholes and other terrible people in the world, but they're not going to look the same as the ones who you've already encountered.
yeah, but also like I think like if you like take solace in the fact that you're a good person, if you are, hopefully you are, and like
I get the feeling he is, because he is actively being like,
Yeah.
I don't want this to fuck me up.
so that's the thing, like fuck people who are shitty. Like there's always gonna be shitty people out there, and just like make the fact that you're a good person feel even better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like relish the fact that you're good and like stay good. Like be extra good almost in defiance, right?
That's the thing. It's like,
despite them be a good person.
Exactly.
Don't sink to their bullshit, because they're just terrified little people who are probably have some kind of hatred, or at one point they gave up. Maybe something bad happened to them, or maybe they're just so scared that now that's how they deal with shit. And like if you let them affect you that way and start to hate women, then you're becoming that person.
abuse is cyclical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the people who are abused as kids are more likely to grow up to be abusers. You know what I mean? But then there are those people who, like you said, like grow up and become better in spite of
You
it.
take every
because
piece of shit that's
you have
thrown
the
your
choice.
way.
You know what I mean? Like either you let it affect you and you become a product of that abuse,
Yeah.
or you become a product in spite of it.
Exactly. And I hated if I ever felt a certain way because of a shitty thing somebody did to me. So anytime I felt that, it would be like mentally just middle fingers, fuck that, like be better. And like it feels good and it's great,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, don't let them win. Don't let them like change you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
and,
also
like-
you obviously realize a certain amount of what's wrong with the situation by messaging into Reddit, but like hating any one group is literally insane.
It's crazy.
So, like, but remember that, because unless you actually consciously think of it, it may be like the amount of people in the world who do it is fucking ridiculous. But
Yeah.
realize that it is fucking insane, because every single fucking person is different. Literally,
Yeah.
walk into a room of 5 people who grew up in the same house, and they're all fucking different. So just realize that that's fucking insanity.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like, yeah, you have to isolate your incidents and realize that, like I said, like those happened, and there's a chance of something similar happening again. Of course, that's the way life is.
Anything can happen, right?
But don't assume that it will happen.
Yeah.
You also kind of attract that
That's
kind
the
of stuff.
thing.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
if
if you
you're-
try to fill the voids of the people who have let you down, you're probably just going to attract the same people that let you down, and they're going to let you down again.
And then that'll reinforce it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you're like standoffish or a little bit hatredy or mean or something, you might repel people who are nicer. You know what I mean? When someone else will see you as like an easy target. And then, you know,
It's such a scary time for this too, because like,
well, all the
When I-
incel bullshit.
that's the thing.
right?
Is like when I was younger, there wasn't really like an online presence of.
Well, there wasn't an online.
I'm not that old. I mean, like at least I wasn't aware of it again because I was young when like the internet
Well,
became
even
sort of more
even
popular.
back then, like it wasn't
I'm sure
as
there
easy
was-
to have an
Yeah.
online presence. There wasn't Facebook, right? There wasn't like all this shit. So like
and it's so easy to like
there wasn't
become a
smartphones. Like,
prevalent.
these days, everyone is like infinitely more connected day by
Yeah.
fucking day. So whether or not they were there before, it's one, more easy for them to connect. Like, you know, 10 people in 10 different cities is one lonely bastard, right? Now it's 10 lonely bastards who are forming a group online, right?
Yeah.
It's a group instead of just a single person. And like with the rise of all the bullshit around the world, like it lends kind of like weight to these people, and like they feel like they can step out of the shadows.
And this is the thing,
you
is
know?
like I understand that their narratives and their rhetoric is like, it's attractive when you're hurt.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like when you're at your lowest, having someone tell you that it's like
Someone
you have
else's
a
fault
reason,
or-
yeah,
Yeah.
to be upset it's really intoxicating and it's really alluring.
But like, do you really want to be that person? And do you really think your life's gonna get better by being really shit to people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, thankfully, it sounds like he knows.
Yeah, this guy sounds
This,
like he's doing all right.
And I think like maybe use your experience to sort of help mentor other people, and you might realize that like other people have it worse, because I promise you, other people have it worse.
There's always someone who has it worse.
And that like your struggles and like, I mean, the whole podcast that we've had, even if we help one person out of this,
Oh, that'd
like,
be amazing.
Like our entire, like every 10 episodes that we've done so far, it's come from our personal experience. So you know what I mean? And if we've helped one person, I'm
Yeah,
over
no,
the
that'd
moon.
be great.
I'm perfectly content with this project.
And like, that's what we wanted to do. Like, I know we have fun doing it and we like laugh a lot, but a lot of it was because we saw a lot of actual bullshit going on, and we hoped that because we dealt with or seen a lot of it, you know, we've been through a lot of shit, that maybe, you know, we would be able to help somebody.
Yeah.
But
So okay, let's get serious here for a second. If you have an issue like this, and if you need someone to just listen to you and talk it out with, please don't hesitate to shoot us a message on Facebook or send us an email. And this isn't like a self-promotion thing. This isn't anything like that.
and also, like, if you don't want it on the show or any mentioned, we won't.
Yeah,
Obviously,
we're not asking for submissions here. We're asking if you feel like if your options are between shooting us an email and like joining the incel subreddit, which I
or
don't
even
think,
just anything.
you know what I mean?
You know what I
Like,
mean? Like,
talk it out with us.
yeah,
We're happy to do it. We're not trained professionals, as we've said,
at all.
but we
If you just need a place to vent, an ear, you know,
we'll listen. We'll happily listen.
yeah.
And we will do our best to like respond and let you know that you're not alone, because I promise you, you're not alone.
You're not. Like, growing up is fucking hard, and everybody has a bunch of problems when they're growing up and a bunch of shit, and like, you can choose to let them fuck you up, or you can try and fight against that, you know? And I always feel that, like, being shitty to people and, like, you know, hating people, being shitty, it's never the right way forward. You
Yeah,
know?
no. I mean, like, in the perfect world, in like the ideal setting, is that we could like cultivate a group of people who would support each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if the people who would fall into like the incel line of thinking were to like create another group and just sort of reinforced each other and
Well, that's the thing, because you don't have to like entrench yourself in this misery. You can like build a supportive group and actually try and like help each other and be better people.
And that's the thing, is, like,
and I feel like that's a harder option maybe, but it's a better one.
yeah, and it sucks, but your misery is a learning tool for other people who are going through the same thing.
Yeah, but it's also a learning tool in general. Like, have you ever met super rich people who've just grown up super rich?
Yeah.
They generally suck because they haven't really had to deal with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? I know that's a big blanket term and that's definitely not
Yeah.
correct, but like, in my experience, yeah, you know what? I don't even need to go into that. Basically, all you need to say is like, it's like in school. If you get 9 things wrong, or 9 things right and 1 thing wrong, in 10 years, you'll probably remember the 1 thing you got wrong more than the other 9 things, because that's how you literally learn, by making mistakes. You see a kid touch the snow and they get a shock because it's so cold that it feels like they get burnt. They're going to be wary around snow.
Yeah.
If they hadn't touched snow before, they're going to dive right into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a growing up thing. It's a human thing. You learn by fucking up. So
Yeah.
take the shit and, you know, turn it into gold.
Yep.
Alchemy like. But yeah, no, seriously, we're always here for anybody, any situation. Shoot us a message. Again, not professionals, but we are willing to listen, and we're, you know, willing to have a chat about it. So
Yeah.
I, 19-year-old female, find it incredibly hot when my BF, 19-year-old male, lets me know when he's manhandling his ham candle.
That's not a question.
I find it sexy when my boyfriend lets me know when he's touching himself, especially to the thought of me. He rarely ever tells me unless I'm already getting pretty steamy via text and initiate conversation. Otherwise, he just keeps to himself. I wish he'd tell me more spontaneously and get into the yummy details. Does anyone else have a problem / desire for this? Why are guys so private about it?
Because we're like taught from a young age that masturbation is the worst, and
Yep.
like it's a secret shame, and don't do it, and like
Even just like male masturbation in general is taboo,
yeah,
you know?
like it's such a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, there's almost no movie that has a scene being like, oh, you walked in on your daughter masturbating, like it.
No, that would be super. You know what's funny? It's like a lot of movies do have the like walk in on the son masturbating or masturbating jokes, and it's all funny, but like if you walked in on the daughter masturbating, it would probably be really creepy.
Because it's like there's just such like a straight divide between the
Yeah.
two, and again, like it's the sexual revolution. I totally understand it. Also, it's the way that men have carried themselves. Like it's far more common for like creepy people to start jerking off in public than
But
it is
is-
for women to be just
Maybe
like.
that's also because it's been so repressed. I don't know. Because it's almost like priests or like people in like situations where they're like sexually repressed, then fucking just do weird shit.
Yeah, but like,
Or they're drawn
women
to-
were sexually repressed for fucking years.
Yeah.
Like, again, the easiest solution for this is just be like, yo, next time you're jerking off and thinking of me, let me know. Like, I promise you, any guy will jump at the chance to do
To
what
feel
turns you
sexy,
on.
because I don't know, I feel like if you look at the list of like how does a guy be sexy, it's not that long, or at least conventionally it's not
And
that
I
long.
promise you, masturbating is not on that list.
No, not
generally.
There is no general list. Like I remember a girl told me my legs were hot once, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's not on the list. I have arms, and I have dick, and I have abs, and occasionally pec. Like, not me, but I mean, they're on the list.
Yeah.
And that's it. Right? Butt isn't on there. Legs aren't on there.
That butt's on there sometimes.
It is now. Didn't
guess.
used to be. Right? Like, it's weird. Manhandling my ham candle.
Ham candle is.
The best term. I half chose the question because of that.
Yeah.
I thought you'd appreciate it more.
I did. I was more bewildered as to where this question was going. Yeah, it's weird because like a lot of guys aren't supposed to let you know. Also, if you're dating, like I think a lot of guys think that like jerking off is sort of a betrayal.
Well, some girls do feel that way.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like if you're into it, you gotta let him know. If
Yeah.
he doesn't know, he'll never do it. It's not like one day he's gonna be like, you know what, I think my girlfriend really wants to know.
Yeah, you're not like
That I'm
at work
jerking
and you just
off right
like
now.
get a message like, hey, I'm having a wank.
Yeah.
Oh. You know.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like it's just one of those things that isn't portrayed as typically sexy. Like, women masturbating is always portrayed as sexy.
Oh yeah. I
Like,
mean,
constantly.
if anyone when I was single was like, I'm fingering myself, or like,
Boom.
yeah, I'd be like, all right,
Hot as fuck.
hell yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're like flirting with a guy or you're trying to get all steamy, you can be like, hey, I am doing that. Whereas like other way around, I feel like you're at a 70-30 positivity rate. Like, you know,
Yeah.
70% fail chance there.
I mean, I guess it's different if you're dating, but even then, I guess
Even
you're walking
then,
a
yeah.
fine line because like you'd be like, wow, cool,
Yeah.
just jerking off by yourself, awesome,
Yeah,
nice.
right? It's
I mean,
weird.
I guess it's like you have the caveat of being like, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like he's probably watching porn. Like,
Yeah. But like you can do both. I don't know. That's
yeah,
not-
no, for sure. You can totally watch porn and imagine, like, think of your significant other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to let him know. You have to tell him.
Exactly. I feel
Because-
like it's just one of those things that it's almost like inbuilt in guys that like it's just taboo, or like no one's gonna want to know that, or that you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, no one wants, like, on the list of things that people want to hear about, guys jerking off is not on that list anywhere.
Which I find is like really weirdly ironic, considering there's also a problem of people just getting dick pics and like masturbation videos like completely out of the blue. So it's this weird dichotomy of like, if you're in a relationship, you like keep it to yourself and all this shit. But
Yeah.
if you're just an ass bag, you're sending it to everybody. I'm
everyone gets to see
surprised
it.
we haven't gotten one off our thirsty followers yet.
I'm
Because those two
promise you.
dudes are one. If I'd sent them anything slightly more suggestive than, "Hey, got any
You
questions
should
for
have
the
just
podcast?"
said, hey, with 3 Ys.
Oh shit! Or
No,
like
we'd
just
be
X.
swimming in dicks right
Just
now.
so many dicks.
I think that's going to do it for us.
Well, that was a lethargic finish. The name of the sex tape. So yeah, thanks for
as always, thank you for listening.
yeah, thanks for going. I appreciate all the feedback. Hopefully, the little cat interlude earlier on was good enough. I don't know if the mic even picked that up.
Probably not, but I really hope
Yeah.
that you could hear the cats
Dane's
freaking out
pussy.
because they obliged.
They did, which is funny because they haven't done anything since episode 1.
Yeah.
Huh.
If you have a question, or if you just want to reach out, please email us at fbuddiespodcast@gmail.com. You can also shoot us a tweet at FCK_buddies. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FCKbuddiespodcast.
And thank you for Josh Cities and the Eagle Papers for their
Are you doing this
song
on purpose?
Harvest Stars.
I'm going to kill you.
What?
I'll beat you to death.
Is that wrong? Sorry, Josh Paper and
No.
the Harvest Eagles
No.
for their song City City.
Stop this.
Fuck, now I can't remember. Thank you for Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities for the song Paper Stars.
There it is.
Yeah, wow. I fucked my own brain there on that one. We sex questions.
And send out every episode. Niall delves into the endless chasm of misery that is the Danverse, who is I don't even know what the fuck call him. He's just like
It's a dick.
just an asshole on Twitter who writes articles.
Yeah.
He is the antithesis of us.
We hope.
Yeah,
No, he is.
he is.
So Dan, this week, in a slight, well, maybe in a hopeful note, Dan asks, is no contact the only way to heal myself and fix my issues? To which I answer yes.
Yeah, Dan, absolutely.
Cloister yourself up, man.
Delete that Twitter account.
Get over your shit.
Delete every article you've ever written.
Get away from the world. Get the fuck away.
Just disappear. Just fucking Thanos snap into...
Lock yourself in a cave with these 10 episodes and play them on repeat until you're a better man.
My name is Dave Miller,
And I'm Niall Spain.
and we're your fuck buddies.